I cannot abide the way the Western world is currently portraying black culture. Apparently, black culture is summarized within the walls of urban music and very urban behavior of dropping your trousers to your knees if you're a bloke and wearing your pants out. I cannot stand the fact that this is representing blacks everywhere. I cannot stand the fact that a few artists who know who they are and who are easy to recognize go around twerking and showing their butt cheeks to the world. And this is a degradation and rough circumcision of the whole poetry and beauty of everything Pan-African. I mean, if you go around the world, you see stuff from North Africa, Egypt, Morocco. You see things from Brazil, Cuba, Trinidad, Guadeloupe, Martinique, things around Jamaica, which are, so much richer than that. And then you go to the United States, North America, and you have the funk and the gospel, and the jazz and the jive, and the rock, and all the beautiful, strong rock beats born from that Negro spiritual are somewhat of results of Pan-African prints onto this world we live in. And unfortunately, all you have for memories of this huge, huge footprint and those efforts and those slaveries and those sufferings, all these beautiful duendes, all these results today in the world relating to black culture as, I don't know, some parts of Jamaican dancehall, and don't need to describe them, you just have to Google twerking, and rap, including gangster, violent, misogynistic rap. I'm not saying all of it is the same, but you have a lot of that, and unfortunately, this is what most people in pop culture, don't get me started, are calling black culture. I find it extremely offensive. Don't even get me started. Don't associate me with this. Associate me with, I don't know, beautiful samba beats and the samba carnivals, beautiful beats from Morocco and the tablas, and beautiful beats from the West Indies, begin, zouk, calypso, salsa from Cuba, salsa from Colombia, gospel, jive, rock and roll. But don't give me butt implants and butt cheeks moving in front of a camera for girls to feel empowered and validated these days and calling it black culture. I have spoken to some grown-up women, black women, who thought that was totally okay for women to think this was empowering, because as black girls it was so much more of their identity and their beauty coming out. Where do you start with this era and where does it stop? Because it's impossible for me to bear. It's so insulting. I mean, you have those people who came up with all those tragedies and transformed it into music and portrayals of their resilience, and mixed it with European beats and Eastern European Russian beat, polka, Creole. You had otai, you have all sorts of like quadrilles and stuff like that from European chords mixed with drums. You had things like Negro spiritual, people expressing their sorrow because they were struggling so much after slavery and still not getting their equality. And now, what do you have as a result of those ancestors laboring and striving to make a mark on the world and expressing themselves? So, what do you have? What do you have? Yeah, that. And people are insulting enough to call it black culture and be proud of it because there's so much genius thrown at it. You know, it's sex. Of course, it will sell. But don't call it black culture because it's insulting to some people. Don't tell me that a lot of black Muslims, black Christians actually identify to that stuff. It's awful. You know, I understand people gyrating their hips. I do all sorts of different type of dances where you use your hips, and even when you wiggle your buttocks under your skirt because you want some movement or another. This is all wrapped up and all covered. It's not out there in front of a mirror, in front of a camera, for every curve or every nook and cranny to be revealed while you moving your buttocks. It's absolutely disgusting. And then the violence in rap videos, some of them, I repeat, it's such a bad image on the black populations of the world. And I cannot help but feel so sad when all this is just degrading a whole lot of civilizations, age-old civilization dating back to Egypt, dating back to all sorts of African countries, and people are degrading this and relating it, packaging it into some kind of horrible commercial nastiness and calling it black culture. It's what you might want to call urban, Western, modern black culture. Part of it. It's not black culture. Don't give it a bad name. I don't want to be associated with that name. I'm very proud of being a representation of some part of the black population on this planet, but I don't like to be associated with this extra nudity, the extra graphic stuff, and people are exploited because they sell sex. And if you listen to Bella Hooks debates and discussions on rap culture and black women, you'll understand how much of a toy black women have been along the years, and how they've just adopted that role because that's what they had. But you have a choice. There is a choice these days to skip that and leave it behind. And there's so many young women especially joining this, and sometimes grown women thinking this is perfectly okay, thinking this is their identity. It isn't. It's a perversion. It's a cheaper, a Poundland version of it, and it's disgusting. Please think about